Jessie Kwak has always lived in imaginary lands from Arrakis and Ankh-Morpork to Earthsea, Tatooine, and now Portland, Oregon. She is the author of almost a dozen fast-paced, character-driven sci-fi crime novels, as well as the productivity guide From Chaos to Creativity. When not writing, she can be found sewing, reading, or crashing her mountain bike. Jessie, over to you.
Thank you so much. I'm reading from my series, The Nancy Chronicles. This is the first of 3 books that are out right now. And this is a couple chapters in when the protagonists meet for the first time. The woman with the blonde braid has dropped the service industry facade, but she doesn't seem worried at being caught red-handed in theft. There's a sort of feral grace in the way she tends to his voice. She holds herself like a fighter. Something tells him he'll struggle almost to the death before accepting captivity, and that she's done it before. Oh, and that she'll write him off as collateral damage in a heartbeat. She definitely isn't a member of the catering team. Raj likes being right more when it doesn't mean a major kink in his plans. Stay back, she hisses. Her fingertips are on the plinth's control panel, her hand clad in one of those shimmering silver antimicrobial gloves all the catering staff are wearing. You'll get us both killed. Raj freezes. Lasers, the woman says in explanation. She waves her free hand at the base of the plinth. They'll kneecap us both if I screw this up. I knew you weren't a caterer, Raj says. And I knew you weren't an investor, she answers. The bioscanner under her fingertips shifts from a threatening red to a soothing green, pulses green a second time, then stays that way. The faint click sounds from the control panel, and the force field around the obsidian totem dissolves with a sigh. The woman's shoulders loosen imperceptibly. But you didn't turn me in. It wouldn't have been polite. Polite? It'd fit perfectly with the asshole Arkelian act. She tilts her chin to study him. Unless it's not an act. And at that, he places her accent, Karuska. Ah, could be another problem. Let's talk this through, Raj says. Nothing to talk about, the Karuskan woman says. You walk back out of this room, and I won't tell Sumalong about your grift. We'll both get what we want. One problem, Raj says. He may feel bad about the war between Arkel and Karuska, but he's got a job to do. He lifts his chin to the obsidian totem behind her. I'm here for that. She blinks in surprise, but her hesitation doesn't last long. A flash of decision in her eyes. He tries to move before she does, but she's too quick. She ducks his arm, snatching the totem as she pivots, an elbow to his ribs as she whirls past. He catches her arm, spins her off her footing. She nearly drops the totem, but as he lunges for it, she tightens her grip once more and swings it at his head. He ducks just in time. The breeze it makes passing over his head sets his hair on end. She wasn't expecting to miss, and she puts a touch too much force into the swing, just enough that Raj can use her momentum to push her off her footing. She pivots at the last second to avoid hitting another golden plinth, and Raj tackles her before she can take off running again. They roll to the floor, barely missing the tray of puff pastries she'd left on the table against the wall, Raj cushioning their fall to keep from making too much noise. She's wiry, but he's stronger, and he's gaining the upper hand. He catches her wrist when she tries to swing the totem at him again, frees the electronic barb from his belt with the other hand, and jams it against her temple. She goes still, chest heaving with breath. Every muscle in her body is tense. He can feel her taut strength pressed against his own. She smells like vetiver with heady undertones of sweet caramel and brush fire. Focus, Raj. I think I win, Raj says. In response, the woman ghosts him a smile and glances down. When he tries to follow her gaze, the cold point of a blade pricks below his chin. The corner of her mouth curls up. She's watching him make his decision, a hint of amusement on her lips, like she's already solved this particular puzzle and she's just waiting for him to catch on. Her lips part as though she's about to speak, then she glances up, eyelashes sweeping wide. She hears it too, voices heading towards them. Raj acts before he can second-guess himself, rolling them both out of sight under the hem of the tablecloth. He keeps his grip on her wrist, the electric barb against her temple. He can still feel the edge of her blade against his throat, only now their positions are reversed and she's straddling his chest. The woman gives a startled laugh, then presses her lips shut and holds tight. It holds as still as he does, waiting for the scuffing heels and muttered complaints of the caterers to pass by. Her professional mask has melted into something more playful, and he revises her age downwards. What's your name? Raj whispers when the caterers have passed. One of the women's eyebrows lift, but she doesn't move the knife from his throat. I'm Raj. Hi, Raj. I know you're not going to pull that trigger. And you're not going to slit my throat. I'm not? You've got a buyer for that thing? Raj asks. None of your business. Mine pays top dollar. Tell you what, we work together to get out of this, and I'll make sure you get your share 50-50. I kill you, I get 100%. You don't know how good my buyer's rates can be. What's your name? The woman snorts a laugh and moves without warning, rolling off him and out from under the table, disappearing in a rustle of tablecloth. Raj hisses out a curse and scrambles out after her, but the woman's halfway across the hall by the time he gets to his feet, and how the hell? She stole his electric barb. She glances back to gauge her lead, and that's why she doesn't notice him, the burly wall of a security guard stepping around the corner. She runs smack into the guard's chest, and the big man's hand closes around her shoulders like vice grips. And there's that animal desperation flashing over her face once more, the wild fear of the trap, the feral instinct to fight her way out even if it kills her. Hey, I'm so sorry, Raj calls. He lets his voice slur, lets his asshole Arkellian drawl lengthen, puts a wobble in his step as he catches up to the woman and the guard. I wasn't trying to upset you. I completely misread the situation. He straightens his tie and shines chagrin at the security guard before turning back to the woman. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. The fear in her eyes drains away as she realizes his charade. A mask of faux fury slips into its place. She shrugs her arm free and slaps Raj across the face. Shit, woman! Raj massages his jaw and stares at her in unfeigned surprise. I have to get back to work, she announces haughtily. She jabs a finger at Raj's chest, and you're cut off. She pins the security guard with the glare. He flinches back out of reflex. He's cut off. Yes, ma'am, the security guard says, stepping out of her way. Wait, Raj calls to her, retreating back. The security guard's subtle shift in stance says the big man isn't going to let Raj go after her. What's your name? She's not going to tell him, he knows that, but it's one last reminder that he's the reason none of them got caught, and all she's leaving him with is a stinging cheek and empty pockets. The woman glances over her shoulder. Her face is angled away from the security guard. Her hand is not. Even so, the wink and the rude gesture are perfectly match set. Looks like your party's over, sir, the security guard tells him. Let me call you a ride. But Raj Demetriou, says a voice behind him. Ice pours down Raj's spine, and he turns slowly to come face to face with Parsi Malong and three of the biggest guards he's ever seen. Sumalong's cheeks are still flushed, but now the heat of the vodka is joined by fury. He lifts a finger, jabbing at Raj's chest. Artemis City security is on their way, he says to Raj, and it seems you've developed a reputation. I think they'll be very happy to get their hands on you. There we go.